Welcome to Fine Living, presented by Jim Reif Builders on 1240 Radio WOMT.
And good morning, Lakeshore, and welcome back to Fine Living here on 1240 Radio WOMT. Once again in the studio, my good friend, Mr. Jim Reif.
Good morning, Terry and listeners.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm excellent. Yourself?
Excellent. Jim, today we want to talk about how a bid is developed. And I would imagine something like this is a lengthy and complicated process.
Well, it is to some degree, but we've got a kind of a system to it, so we feel we're real confident in what we do.
Okay.
So I thought we'd share with the listeners how we do it because, some people say, well, do you just charge by the square foot
Right.
or how do you charge and stuff?
And how do you even come up with the price? I mean, because no home is the same, and a 2,000 square foot home can be the same as 3,000 or whatever, I guess.
Yeah, and it kind of amounts to what you all put into it, too. So we're kind of going to develop a scope of work with you folks, whether it's a renovation or a new home and such, and get what you'd like to put into the home because
Okay.
that's going to change the price if you want granite tops versus, the old Formica laminate type tops, So it's more like you're going back to biology class where you're dissecting the frog. We're dissecting the house apart. We're, cutting it open, peeling layers off of it and trying to figure things out. So with our labor, we've collected a lot of data from the past 22 years of me being in business. And so we use that data to help develop our bid for our labor. So if we're doing a renovation project, for example, our price for demoing out the plaster is going to be, because it may have lats and that in it behind there, an older home, maybe different than demoing out if you had a newer home that just has drywall on it. We charge, for charging for hanging in interior door. We charge for putting the trim around the doors and molding. So we break it all apart on what we have to do for the project. And then framing is another thing. If it's going to be based on the wall height versus the, how many corners we're going to add. Every time you turn a corner, it takes extra time. You make a window or door opening, it takes extra time. So we charge for those things. So that's how we develop our bid based off of data. And we constantly refine our labor and data. And sometimes we're even lowering our price because we're becoming more efficient at things.
Okay.
So it's somewhat detailed for the labor, but we have it all right there so we can input numbers, input the number of windows, the number of doors, and it all adds it all up at the computer. So thank the Lord for those products.
Absolutely.
The materials are taken off by a lumberyard and some by our own estimators, my team that we have, and we spill all that info out when we give you the pricing, the bid. Trade contractors, we meet them at the site. If it's a new home, there, we send them the bid and we give them information to provide. And they'll provide this detailed information. And again, our team estimators reviews all that to make sure everything's included.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Question for you. When you give someone a bid, is that bid solid, concrete,
That is
contractual bid?
That bid is solid based on what we provide you with the information we're going to do. So if you change the style of door, it may change the price. Or if you change the fireplace to a better unit and more bells and whistles on it, that's going to change the price. But based on what we're providing to you, that bid is solid.
Okay, so if subcontractors' prices change because of their own business model, that shouldn't affect that. Or if lumber prices change?
If we get out of distance, we will talk about lumber pricing, but subcontractor pricing should not change.
Okay. Great information. I also know that the Vote of the Best of Lakeshore is coming up as well.
Yeah, I was hope folks would, if you're on there doing the voting, whether it's online or you're sending in your paper ballot, if you would consider voting for us, we'd appreciate that in the home improvement and the residential builder categories, and that'd be awesome. I'd love to get the votes and appreciate your confidence in us and stuff. It's been neat doing this show, Terry, and I hope we're providing education for the consumer out there.
Absolutely, it's a great show, and if listeners need to get hold of Jim Reif Builders, who, by the way, you guys will also personally deliver these bids.
Yeah, a good point. That's we touched on that earlier when we were off air. But yes, we, instead of just mailing the quote to you, we're going to come and deliver it to you. We're not strong arm. We're not high pressure. So we don't expect you to give us an answer there. There's lots to digest. But we're going to come there, deliver it, go through with you, answer questions, then let you decide what you'd like to do and hopefully hear back from you.
It's a personal touch, instead of just someone, emailing you, hey, this is what it's going to cost. You're going to go and talk to them.
It's all part of the service we provide.
Right.
So,
Jim, how can people get hold of you?
they can look look us up on the web at jimreifbuilders.com. We got an excellent website, and you can contact us. We'd love to hear from you by phone, 684-6899. And you can check us out on Facebook. We've got a nice presence there also.
Jim, we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, Terry.
Thanks for listening to Fine Living, presented by Jim Reif Builders, the leader in new construction and remodeling here on the Lakeshore. Let their vision enrich your lifestyle. Tune in again next week for another episode of Fine Living on 1240 Radio, WOMT. To learn more, visit jimreifbuilders.com.